Well, today is Friday, and it's time for the Friday update. Well, all week I've been using a bunch of topwater plugs. We're doing moving water over at the Farm 13 Stick Marsh complex, and they're filling it up. So all week we've had 40, 50, 60, almost 100 bass a day, mainly on this Spro popper. And I've covered that already and a couple other things. And basically I'm using a 20-pound line and making a nice long cast into the current and just slowly working it back, just barely popping it along. And that's been a really big deal. And you've seen me catch a bunch of fish. So I tell you, that's kind of the deal. But I want to tell you about a special deal, because really my theme for today is, if you get in the boat for just a second and push off, just push the boat away. Okay, now what we're going to do now is talk about the key for today. And that is, do you believe the fact that old dogs can't learn new tricks? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, old dogs can learn new tricks. And I'm an old dog. I'm a real old dog, and I've learned new tricks. I tell you, in the age of the internet, I've had to survive by doing these YouTube videos, by doing all the television, by doing all the editing, by working with all my electronics that I have here. Uh-oh. Oh well, I'm gonna. Huh, that's the advantage of having a heavy line. Okay, and I've had to learn new tricks. Now, the case in point is, look at this new active target setup. Now, this is the new Lowrance Active Target 2, and it's so cool. Now, I'll tell you, folks, I'm an old school, old dog, old school power fisherman. And I've gotten along great in all my tournament fishing, all my film work that I've done, all the YouTubes that I've brought you. Most of it's power fishing. Now, I'm not relying on these electronics. I'm not doing the ultralight stuff. I'm not doing the down shots and the finesse stuff. But guess what? I can do that. Old dog can do that. I've learned how to, number one, use the internet to access all my upgrades. When you're doing all this electronics, you have to constantly upgrade your unit. You have to get on the internet and find the latest software updates. I've done that. I've installed on my thing, and I've done this big cable system. Look at this. Look at this thing here. This is this new EA. This EA Clear Power. What it does, it goes into this system right here. And here is the active target system. I don't have it mounted yet, but I just want to show you. And there's big special cables that go under this thing. And what this cable system does, I'm going to just show you in the back of the boat. It provides the best power you could ever have. Now look in the back of the boat for just a second. And what we have is we have something that's really special. Look at this cable. This is that EA power cable. Now what this EA power cable is, it shields it from all the external noises and other interferences that you might have. This is just a fantastic system. And now it's all set up. I've done it 100%. It talks to itself. And along with that whole system is that I got it set up now, active target. But look at my move trolling motor. My move trolling motor is another whole ball game. I've had to learn how to do all the Bluetooth stuff. I've learned how to have to go in and access the internet and do all the upgrades on that system, and how to access it to my phone. So basically, my fishing today is new school. It's not old school. I was working for Lowrance Electronics in 1970, and they called me the Lowrance Scientific Fisherman. But science passed me by. And the 80s and 90s came along, and I became a power fisherman. I didn't get into the electronics. And then the 90s and the 2000s came along, and all this forward-facing sonar and all the new internet upgrades and all the things you have to do came along, and I had to struggle. Look, I have a third of my friends right now struggling with the internet. They can't even do their emails. They can't even do their surfing on the internet. They can't find things to even buy because they don't understand even the system. They don't even understand internet. Well, I'm going to tell you, folks, that won't cut it. In today's world, we're into the modern digital era. Bass Pro Shop came to me. All these different people like Favorite Rods came to me and said, Roland, you're going to have to get into the digital age. If you're going to survive television, You're going to have to get in there and you're going to have to do something. I started doing my YouTube stuff 5 or 6 or 7 years ago. Well, the YouTube required a lot of digital stuff. I had to do not only digital cameras, but I had to do the digital stuff like we're doing on the iPhone right now. I have special sound systems that I've had to work with that you're hearing right now. It's this little thing here. And I've just had to upgrade every single year. I have to keep ahead of the game. And the only way to do it is to stay. Now, I'm not a Jacob Wheeler. I don't have 3 units on my. I fish with Jacob, by the way. He's a great power fisherman as well. I can keep up with him in this power fishing. I can't quite keep up with him yet on the electronics, and I can't quite keep up with my son Scott, who's been working with Garmin for 6 or 7 years since all this stuff came along. But hey, I'm getting close. The point is, I'm now competitive. Now, so I'm 80-something years old. I could go back on the elite trail. And the main reason why I've been asked back, because I have a legendary category. Well, the reason why I haven't gone back, tell you why I haven't gone back to fish the trail, is there's guys, young guys, a whole bunch of them. Cody Huff, for example. Do you think I could beat Cody Huff here on this canal with the power fishing techniques that I know? Yeah, I probably could. But how often are we going to fish the canal? We're going to fish a lake like Bull Shoals Lake in Arkansas or Table Rock in Arkansas. Cody Huff is an absolute expert with forward-facing sonar. I've done films with him. He can locate fish better than I can. But I'm learning. I'm getting onto the ball game. Jimmy Houston and I, we're old school, old time, old dogs. Hey, we're learning. We're getting back on the curve, getting back into the competition. But to be competitive today's world, you have to have this technology. If you don't understand and know and work with forward-facing sonar, you're just so far behind the game. You're not even in the competition. You can get by on a couple little swampy lakes, maybe at Santee Cooper, and fish shallow water in the spawn. But the rest of the year, that forward-facing sonar guys are going to beat your socks off, son. And it's a fun game. I mean, the whole world's coming to it. It's a catch and release program. Bass fishing is just a lot of fun. Competition is just a lot of fun. But the game has changed. It's not an old dog game. It's not all a power fishing game. It's the new modern electronics. It's the forward-facing sonars. It's the new move trolling motors that are twice as good and twice as light as ever before. It's this whole $100,000 bass boat that I'm in now. I've learned how to use the whole system and how to rig it up and how to fish more efficiently. So what I'm going to try to do this year, in fact, I'm doing it, and I'm going next week, the next couple of days, I'm going with Jimmy Houston. We're going to go down to the Louisiana Delta, get with some of the best red fishermen in the world. We'll use that forward-facing sonar. We'll find those big red fish. We'll catch those big 30, 40-pound bull reds. Now, last week, speaking of that, Chuck O'Beer, my hunting buddy, I was up on the Chesapeake Bay. He has down scope and side scanning sonar and forward-facing sonar on his big 45-foot boat. And we're out in the Chesapeake Bay. We found a school, well, with the help of some of his other friends. A spotter plane is up there. They're spotting Menhaden schools for the commercial boats. They found a school of big redfish. They talked to another guide. This other guide told Chuck, hey, there's a big school of big bull reds over here by such and such. And we found them. We got in there. We saw them on the forward-facing sonar. Chuck said, drop the jig. And I got the jig right here on the boat, wherever it is. I dropped that jig down, son. Let me tell you what happened. And this is the same jig I'll probably be using for there. This is the same exact jig. I just caught a 35-pound big bull red up on the Chesapeake Bay with that one. That's 50-pound braid. Now, he said when we saw it on the depth finder, when we saw it on the forward-facing sonar, Chuck said, drop it down. And I dropped it down. And this is 50-pound. This is a 200 yards or 150 yards or 50. Immediately, boom, that 35-pounder hit. It spooled me. It's only 100 yards, not even 100 yards to the little structure. This thing went all the way to the end of the spool, and there was just nothing but the knot. And I'm yelling at Chuck, throw it in reverse. He did. He threw it in reverse, and I'm stretched out, and we got the line, and we caught the fish, and it was a great big 35-pound bull red. Well, that's the kind of stuff we're going to do next week. We're going to do that same exact thing on the Mississippi River Delta. We're liable to go out into some of the oil rigs and drop there. We're liable to go on the edge of the channel, where the many channels that come in off the Mississippi head into the Gulf. There's big bull reds in all those places. And we're going to take something similar to this, whether it's this or not. But the thing about this jig is that I see the fish on the forward-facing sonar. I can throw right to them, and actually see the jig swimming along in the water on the sonar, see the fish come along, bam, contact, bam, got a fish, bam, successful film. So that's kind of what we're planning on doing. But the point is, old dogs can learn new tricks. And I'm a testimony to that because I tell you, in this digital age, I was a little behind. I'm getting caught up. And I'll tell you, all you older folks that have that excuse, well, I think I'll just forget it. Let the young boys who work on the internet. No, you're 100% wrong. In this day and age, you have to get on board. And if you're going to sit there with that attitude that you're not going to learn the internet and you're not going to get digital, you're a lost cause. I don't have any sympathy for you. Please learn it. That's my message. Anyway, folks, we're going to try to bring you some real good, exciting video. Thanks for watching the videos that I do bring and try to explain things. And that's my whole format, trying to explain the ABCs of my fishing, explain what I'm doing to catch fish. Hey, it's simple and easy. Hit that likes button. I tell you, subscribers like you are just so valuable. O'Reilly and Bass Pro Shop and all my good friends, my Booyah people. That's another thing. In fact, this week I'll be with Mike Weiscarver and the Booyah guys. I'm green. We're doing green clean with the boats and stuff, direct discharge into the water. And Mike will be down there, and Jimmy and I'll be filming and fishing with Mike as well. So, folks, thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.